I'm Portia. This is my wife, Ellen.
Hi.
And
We've been together for 16 years. We've been married for 12 years. But the last time you were on the program, you surprised me for my birthday.
Yes, I did.
Which I was completely surprised.
For a long time, they were the gold standard. Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi, two women, two powerhouses, two icons. To many, they were proof that queer love could be real, enduring, even aspirational. They were more than a couple. They were a symbol of progress, of possibility, of what could happen when two women defied the odds and built a life in the spotlight together. They were radiant on red carpets, affectionate in interviews, always on the same team. Whether it was Ellen slipping in a flirty joke on her talk show, or Portia lovingly defending her wife in public statements. There was an undeniable energy between them. Even in the face of scandal or stress, they stood side by side, seemingly unshakable. Their love felt forged in something deeper than fame, something that could weather anything. Until, slowly, quietly, it didn't. There was no tabloid headline announcing their end, no big statement, no messy unfollowing spree or cryptic social media post, just a gradual retreat from public displays of togetherness. No more gushing birthday tributes, no more joint appearances. Eventually, even the most loyal fans started asking, "Where is Portia?" But for those paying close attention, the signs were there long before the silence, before the break. Portia had always been the quieter one, graceful, thoughtful, more introverted. She'd once been a breakout television star, but she never wanted the limelight in the same way Ellen did. After coming out publicly, she became more comfortable in her skin. But she often described that process as painful, even traumatic. She'd struggled with body image, anorexia, internalized homophobia. Her path to peace was hard-won. And Ellen? She was a survivor too. A comedy legend who'd risked it all to come out in 1997 and lost her career because of it. But she came back, bigger, louder, shinier. The Ellen Show wasn't just a hit. It was a cultural force. Ellen danced into living rooms and won hearts. She became the kind of figure people called America's sweetheart, even as she remained one of the most powerful queer women in entertainment. When they got together in 2004, something clicked. Portia described it as finally finding home. Ellen described it as not being alone anymore. They married in 2008, just months before California's temporary ban on same-sex marriage took effect. It felt historic. It was historic. But over time, the dynamic shifted. Ellen, by nature and career, was outward-facing. She performed. She entertained. She wore her public persona like a perfectly tailored suit, charming, witty, polished. Portia, in contrast, began retreating from Hollywood. After wrapping Arrested Development, she quietly stepped back from acting. She launched an art curation business, focused on animal rights, and kept mostly out of the spotlight, except when supporting Ellen. To many, it seemed like the perfect yin-yang, but what it became over the years was a quiet erosion of balance. The cracks beneath the surface. By 2020, Ellen's image was under siege. Former employees accused her of fostering a toxic workplace culture. Allegations of bullying, fear, intimidation. For someone whose brand was all about kindness, the backlash was especially brutal. Social media turned on her. Former guests shared unsettling stories. The press went in hard. Portia stood by her, publicly. She posted an Instagram photo that simply read, "I stand by Ellen." No long caption, no press conference, just a firm, unshaken declaration of loyalty. But behind closed doors, things were fraying. Ellen became more withdrawn, more defensive. What used to be her armor, humor, turned into something brittle. She wasn't just hurt. She was humiliated. She felt betrayed by a public she'd spent decades trying to win over. And when she came home, it was no longer a sanctuary. It was just another place to feel misunderstood. Portia tried to hold the space. She tiptoed around Ellen's moods, suggested getaways, tried therapy. Sometimes they'd go weeks without a real conversation, just passing words and half-hearted smiles. Other times, they'd argue about nothing, the dishwasher, the dogs, or who forgot to RSVP to a dinner they both didn't want to attend. It wasn't about the dishes. It was about the distance. Ellen was losing trust in the world, and Portia, quietly, was losing trust in the relationship. Unspoken goodbyes. People don't always leave in dramatic fashion. Sometimes they just slowly start to detach. Portia began sleeping with headphones in, started spending more time in the garden, took solo drives up the coast. Ellen noticed but said nothing. She was too tired to ask, too afraid of what the answer might be. They were still sharing a home, a bed, a life, but not a connection. What hurt most was that neither of them had done something wrong. There was no infidelity, no betrayal, just years of unspoken needs, of one partner shrinking to make space for the other. Portia had quieted herself to amplify Ellen's voice, and Ellen, buried in her own shame and survival, hadn't noticed until it was too late. Eventually, Portia started talking to her therapist about leaving. Not out of anger, not because she didn't love Ellen, but because she no longer recognized herself. She'd spent so many years being someone else's support beam that she didn't know what she wanted anymore, what she liked, who she was without Ellen. And Ellen. She saw it coming. She didn't try to stop her. Not really. Maybe because she didn't know how. Maybe because a part of her agreed. After. Portia left on a Sunday afternoon. No yelling, no tears on the lawn. Just a bag packed, a note left on the kitchen counter, and a whispered goodbye to the dogs. Ellen didn't walk her out. She sat at the dining table, staring at her untouched coffee. In the days that followed, Ellen retreated even further. She ended her show, stepped away from public life. She spent long hours in the backyard, rewatched old stand-up tapes, read letters from fans, and tried to remember what it felt like to be adored. Portia, on the other hand, began to reassemble herself. Slowly, she moved into a smaller house by the coast, took up pottery, called her brother more often. She started journaling, started cooking again, started sleeping without headphones. They still text. On birthdays, holidays, the occasional memory that resurfaces. There's no bitterness, no blocked numbers, just two people who once built a life together, then outgrew it. What remains? Their love wasn't a lie. It wasn't performative. It was deep and real and true for a long time. But love alone isn't always enough. Not when careers shift, when trauma resurfaces, when two people evolve in directions they didn't expect. Portia once believed in forever. Now she believes in growth, in stillness, in coming home to herself. Ellen is still searching. Some mornings she feels lighter. Others are heavy. But she's learning to sit with that, to let it be. What they had mattered. What they lost mattered too. And what they found after the end might matter even more. If you liked this video, subscribe to our channel Past Famous and stay tuned for more Hollywood stories.